Big production.
Hey yo, so we're gonna go over this crypto ETF again. It's been a while since I've done one of these. We're gonna start off with Glxy, of course, the GOAT. I want to point out one thing first. We're still waiting on that NASDAQ uplisting news. And I'm thinking that if we get that news drop anytime before May, or this next earnings report, which will be May 2nd, there'll probably be a run into that earnings. I don't want to sleep on it, man. This zone that we've been at, right? This $13.80, $14 zone. What a demand zone, right? We're just collecting up shares in this range, collecting. I think that this will end up being a nice base when we look at this on the chart before we make that next leg up. Then again, we do need to see a major push in Bitcoin, and that would help so much, of course. So we have this trend line that's been holding us back here for a little while, right, since the end of December, right? So that trend line is major. It looks like we're getting tight enough now to start breaking up out of that range, and we're starting to get that pickup in bull volume. So that's bullish to see. We got just recently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches, and we're defending this nicely. So again, man, like, it's Glxy, man. This one's the plug. You can't sleep on this one. So we have Defi. Very similar chart in terms of making that base area. I like how we had that big push. We ended up filling the gap it made, and now we're starting to make that base around the 150 zone, 147. So as long as we can hold this and maybe get that break of this upper trend line, it could be potential that we're going to get that next leg higher and start battling this zone in this name. Again, if things don't look so bullish for crypto, these names might get some sort of a bearish reaction. You can't really sleep on that. So if we break below this, we got to watch this next area right here, where we've had a few touches, and that's the $1.18 range, and it brings us back to a major confluence area. So that's another area I would potentially want to start going long at if we reach. But right now things are looking interesting. I want to see us get a nice bull day to identify that, you know, we're starting to buy up out of this range again. That would be nice. We have Hut here. Again, a lot of these names, man, they just got absolutely demolished, right? They come down like 70%, and that's where they start their base. So it's been weeks now, weeks and a few months since we've started to create this base. There's no chance that we were going to come back to $4, right? That's too much of a discount. So right now, this pattern that we're setting up here could be just indicative that here's the new base and we're going to get that push higher. I'd be looking, right? These are very similar charts. This trend line here is holding us back. And now what we want to see is the reversal of the trend. We get pushed up, back test, and go, creating higher lows into this next resistance point. Hive, again, very similar. Mara, look at this, right? Well, I'm telling you, something interesting is happening here. Bitfarms. Again, all these names look very similar, and the reason why is because they're all crypto related names. They're all giving us the same type of indication here. We're basing in a zone, and we could potentially be making that next leg up. So this is Coinbase. Now there's some funny things going on with Coinbase, but in terms of, like, they're starting to ask people for, you know, they're not really a decentralized exchange. They're asking people for how much money they make, where they work, and all these things just so that you could trade on the platform, which is making it a lot more centralized, kind of like a bank, except it's a bank for crypto. Either way, the chart is looking fairly interesting. We got some bullish divergence to match this price action up here. So I'd be looking for the 212 range, because that was our resistance and it was holding us back. There is a little bit of a gap there too. So eventually, if crypto starts to pump, we're going to want to see that zone getting broken up. And I also, like, this has nothing to do with it really, but I love how the weather's getting nicer here in Canada. and we're starting to see that bullish price action coming back into some crypto names, some growth and tech names. Like, we love to see that. You already know. We have SI here. This one is nice. Look at these higher lows it's been creating. 1, 2, 3. So what I am seeing here is that this area is a resistance, and we just need a little bit more time before we break up out of that range. If not, we could be potentially looking for another higher low before that. But think of it like this: we're weakening this zone. That's all we're trying to do. Weaken this area, and then we break up over, get that retest, and we continue the uptrend. Now, tokens.com, this is a Canadian coin. This one, oh, it's a little bit different, eh? We're starting to not really get, this is the only one out of all those names that's really not reacting on a great level, like and it's not creating a base. If anything, it's making lower highs and lower lows. So this name, I do want to keep it in this ETF just because it is a penny stock and the potential is high, but it is not looking too well for tokens.com here. So we want to see us again break up into that point, create some sort of a potential bull flag pattern, something like this, and then a breakout. Would be nice to see, but who knows if that's going to end up coming out. I really do want to pay attention to these upper resistance points that we were starting to create, because this name is going to want to, you know, battle those eventually. So this was a support at one point, and then we broke below. We're going to see if it's going to act as resistance if we get up there. So that's the breakdown on these crypto, the NCB Trades crypto ETF. Peace.